Okay, so we are live, and it's Ruth Morton from Compugen, and I've got Eric Mole from Microsoft with me. Hey, Eric.
Hi, Ruth. Greatly appreciate the time and thank you very much.
No worries. So I have you here, Eric, to talk about the Enterprise Cloud Suite and what it means to our licensing solution specialists, as well as what it means to our customers.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, as you mentioned, Ruth, this is a very, very exciting announcement for us. And the Enterprise Cloud Suite has some very significant changes, and it also talks to the new environment that we're in. So, as over the last 5 years, there have been some fundamental changes as to how people work, how people collaborate, how people travel. Now more than ever, we've got more devices, more data. We're always connected, always moving, and we have a ubiquitous collaboration type of environment. So what's important to realize is that organizations look to Compugen to help them provide end-to-end productivity. Look at assessing their security risks. How do we manage the mobile device? And also, how do we provide consistent access to the apps and the data? So to that extent, Microsoft has some very good solutions. And we have basically the platform that does provide seamless collaboration. We also have new capabilities that provides mobile device management, multi-factor authentication, software as a solution, hybrid management capabilities. And again, it's great working with a partner like Compugen because you guys are in a very strong position to provide the services to bring these together. So, to that extent, we've had solutions in the past around productivity around Office 365. As you know, the Enterprise Mobility Suite was new and was brought out to the market back in the April timeframe. Very exciting announcement. We'll talk about this a bit later on. But we've never had a licensing solution that wraps all of these together. So the new announcement is the Enterprise Suite, which is basically purchased through an enterprise agreement, which we believe will be best-in-class productivity across any device. And the fundamental shift is that it is on a per-user basis. It empowers the users to be truly effective in their day-to-day job. So what does it entail? Well, for some time, we've always had our enterprise platform environment, which has consisted of Office Professional Plus, the Client Access Suites, and Windows Enterprise. Over time, we've evolved that. We've got Office 365, the Enterprise Mobility Suite, and now Windows SA per user. So what I want to do is just take a closer look at exactly where we've come from and more importantly, how the new tools work together. So, as you know, when we first came out with our Exchange server and SharePoint server, we had, a great functionality in the early days, 2003. And from a licensing perspective, you would have to purchase the server, you'd purchase the front-end application through Office, and then you'd purchase a client access license, which entitles you to basically connect to the server and take advantage of the services. Obviously, if you went in and you bundled these ECALs together, you could then reduce your cost. And the bundling was typically done for the core CAL. So the core CAL was both from a business productivity perspective for Exchange, SharePoint, and Lync. And then you also had on the back end the Windows Server CAL, System Center Config Manager, and System Center Endpoint Protection. And that was basically the core CAL offering. As Microsoft over the years added additional functionality to its server platform, not to increase the basic CAL functionality, we came out with a layer on top of that, which is the Enterprise CAL. And the Enterprise CAL talks to the new server capabilities. So for example, for Exchange, this was all about providing more capability around the advanced archiving, around data loss protection, around journaling, around searching capability. And so that was now encapsulated in the Enterprise CAL. So you can actually purchase all of the Enterprise CALs, and the Enterprise CALs, you had to purchase the Core CAL to be able to get the Enterprise CAL. And of course, if you purchased all of these, this then entitled you, if you coupled it with the Office Professional 2013 and then the Link Server Plus CAL to give you the Voice Plus CAL or telephony, this basically gave you the enterprise platform, the desktop enterprise platform. And this was the on-premise solution. Microsoft then came out with our cloud solutions, which is Office 365. And to that extent, we provided lots of new capabilities. So on the Office Pro Plus, as you can imagine, which was a per device solution, we came out with Office 365 Pro Plus, which was kind of a very unique concept in the sense that this was now end user focused. So end user focused, and it gave me the right to download 5 copies of Office Professional on any 5 PCs or Macs. 5 mobile devices could connect to it for Exchange Online connectivity. And I could also take up to 5 Office for iPads, connect to my Office OneDrive for Business, let's say, but allow it to go into edit mode. So it was a 5 by 5 by 5. If I look at my Exchange server, my Exchange server CAL is now included in the Exchange Online Plan 1. But, sorry, this is Exchange CAL right over here, Exchange Plan 1. But if I wanted to do the Exchange Server Enterprise CAL, then that was included in the Exchange Online Plan 2. The big difference between the two is that the Exchange Online Plan 2 not only gave me all the capabilities of my Enterprise CAL, but it also included a server license on the back end, also included disaster recovery, high availability, 99.9%, also gave me additional benefits like unlimited storage over unlimited time with the advanced archiving capabilities. So there was a lot more capabilities encapsulated in the Exchange Online Plan 2. You could buy any of these plans incrementally. And again, remember that for me to go to Exchange Online Plan 2, it basically included all the functionality of Exchange Online Plan 1. Similarly, on the backend System Center side, we had Azure Rights Management Services, Microsoft Intune, and Azure Active Directory Premium. So to help reduce cost, we also came out with bundles whereby if you got the E1 SKU, the E1 SKU gave me pretty well the equivalent of all of the Core CAL capabilities for Exchange, SharePoint, and Link. And as a bonus, we also included the Enterprise CAL for Link Server. Keep in mind that the E1, as I mentioned, included the server, disaster recovery, high availability, all of the future updates, and all of those capabilities were built into it. If I wanted to include the Enterprise CAL, that was the E3 SKU. So the E3 SKU included all of the Core CALs and Enterprise CALs. These were specifically around business productivity and not so much around these components over here. And to address this one over here, we actually came out with a product called Enterprise Mobility Suite. But the Enterprise Mobility Suite had me actually purchase it with a Core CAL and a Bridge CAL. I should also point out that if I wanted to do telephony, because the Link CAL itself only gave me voice over IP, if I wanted to be able to call to a landline or receive a call from a landline, then I had to add the Link Server Plus CAL, and that was included in the E4 SKU.
Hey, Eric.
Yes.
Just to clarify on this screen, this is not saying that things like the Exchange Online archiving is not included in E3 or E4.
And that's a very good catch. And to that, that's actually a miss, and it should have been there. So the Exchange Online archiving is definitely included in the E3 and also included in the E4. So I like it. Yes, so that's something, good point. So, yep, go ahead.
Nope, I'm all good.
No?
All done.
Good. Okay. So the other point that I was also going to point out is that the E1, E3, and E4 obviously gave me access to all of my cloud-based resources, but the unique capability is that my CALs were also transferable to on-premise. And that's very important because there are going to be scenarios whereby a customer might have a SharePoint server on premise that they still want to access for financial reasons or there's a specific customized app. But since they've purchased SharePoint um, Online Plan 1 and Online Plan 2, they might want to use that for OneDrive and their intranet. And as I purchase these licenses, the user has the right to use all of these servers in our public data centers in Office 365, which is, by the way, fundamentally Microsoft IT, and also leverage any server-based servers on-prem, with the understanding that you are still responsible for buying the server on-prem, doing the updates yourself, and maintaining the software assurance on those servers. So let's talk a little bit more about the Enterprise Mobility Suite that came out in the April timeframe. So the Enterprise Mobility Suite, when it first came out, was a solution that basically addressed a few key scenarios. The first key scenarios was identity and access management. And this was the capability of allowing an organization, first of all, to allow a user to go to a logon screen, a web-based screen, and allow to do self-service password reset. So, 60 to 70% of the cost of the help desk, as you can well imagine, are for password resets. And again, this allows you to do self-service, sends you a temporary password, you enter it in, you enter a new one, and then you're good to go. The other thing that it also does is that it also gives you the capability of going in and as I log in to ensure that the person logging in is indeed that person. So we've included in this multi-factor authentication. And the multi-factor authentication, I would argue, in this day and age is not a nice to have, but a must have. And it is similar to the RSA tokens that we've had in the past, right? So now it ensures that that the person logging in, and I can force it that every time a person logs in to send them a multi-factor authentication access code. I can text it to them. I can actually call them. They hit the pound sign and they log back in. Or it also monitors it for reporting purposes. So if someone has actually gone in and actually, I'm logging in from Toronto, but suddenly I'm logging in also from New York, it'll trap that, catch that, stop it, lock out the account, and send a multi-factor authentication to say, hey, are you the right person? So that I can ensure that you're the right person that's actually had the right to authenticate to it. The third piece that it also gives me is software as a service, single sign-on like synchronization. So today we actually manage over 2,200 SaaS applications, and again, not Microsoft SaaS applications only. These could be any third one. So at Microsoft we use Concur for our travel purposes. You could actually, through this Enterprise Mobility Suite, allow me to go in and actually log in through AD, and it logs me in then into the SaaS applications. The big advantage is that as I leave the organization and as I get removed from my Active Directory, it also removes me or no longer allows me access to all of those SaaS applications, which can be problematic because quite often those SaaS applications, as you know, Ruth, are often purchased not necessarily through IT, but by line of business. So it could be marketing, it could be sales, and so IT needs to tightly control it. So so those are some of the key benefits there. Obviously, we provide also mobile device management across any of the platforms, iOS, Android, Windows 8. There's some very good third-party products out there that are available, but our product is definitely on par with those. And the nice thing is because of the fact that we kind of bundle them all together, the cost savings are substantial. So you could almost take the cost of using this best of breed, if you wish, mobile device management suite that you might already own and actually use the money towards the mobility suite, and you'd be far further ahead. Keep in mind that the mobile device management allows me not to just manage these devices, but I can actually go in and segregate the business apps from my personal apps and also segregate my business data from my personal data. So should I leave the organization and I have a BYOD strategy, IT can actually go in and just wipe out the business apps and the business data. or should I lose my device in a you know, in an environment that I have a, choose your own device type of environment, then IT can actually go in and actually wipe out the whole device, including personal and business data. And that's included in these two components. The last one I was going to mention, Ruth, is information protection. So information protection is the capability to go in and protect your documents. Now, as you know, in Office 365, we give you the capability of doing that today. I can go into Excel, Word, or PowerPoint, and I can actually, through SharePoint Online, invoke or directly on the document itself the capability to indicate who can access the document, who can edit it, and who can actually read it. And so should that document be accidentally forwarded to someone else that's not on that list, they can't open up the document. And that's encrypted right within the document itself. With the information protection right over here, with the rights management in the Enterprise Mobility Suite, I can now do this with over 200 different file types. So think of all the PDFs out there that I want to protect. This capability actually gives it to you. So fundamentally, these are three products from Microsoft. Azure Active Directory Premium, Microsoft Intune, and Azure Rights Management. And this is included in the Enterprise Mobility Suite. So let's continue and let's talk about what's the next step. So to that extent, the Enterprise Mobility Suite, as we just talked about, are those three key components that we offer today. But you do need to purchase it today with the Core Cal, Bridge Cal, or Enterprise Cal. So the difficulty in these environments is that quite often, as you know, when a customer has the on-premise environment and they want to move some of these capabilities over to the E1, but they still want to maintain their Windows and Server Cal so that they're not double paying on the Core Cal and the Enterprise Cal, we actually now have to build into that an Enterprise Cal bridge or a Core Cal bridge, depending on how you want to do this. And this is the Core Cal bridge for the E3 and E4 that couple these two together. Similarly, if I had the EMS suite, I would have had to do it the ECAL bridge for E, maintain those together. So the good news is that with the new announcement coming out, we're actually simplifying this. And we're simplifying this in a very positive way. So let me walk you through this and let's explain what are some of the key changes that we're going to bring to bear. So first of all, the Enterprise Cloud Suite was announced November 3rd, and will be available to customers to purchase effective December 1st. The Enterprise Cloud Suite fundamentally shifts it from a user device hybrid model to a true per user environment. The Office Pro Plus, which is a device model, now truly moves to an end model, which is the 5x5x5. The archiving and the server cal that we talked about goes to Exchange Online. And I should point out that in the Enterprise Cloud Suite, initially the E3, but you can also add the link to also support the E4. So fully supported. So this is the link server one. Again, this is over IP equivalent of the E3. SharePoint Online is fully supported. And what's interesting here is that the Yammer is a bonus, and that's also in the E3, which is a phenomenal tool, by the way, if you have not had a chance to use it. What is also new in this new suite is that initially I had Azure Rights Management, Windows Intune, and Azure as part of the older EMS suite. Now in the new EMS suite, we've added the Windows Server Cal and System Center Config Manager. That should I have a System Center environment and I want to still do my patching and my updates, then all my users are actually licensed for it. Keep in mind that the Windows Intune also gives me the capability to manage my devices effectively and also do the patching and the update to those environments that might not have a System Center built into it. And the Enterprise Cloud Suite now also includes the Windows SA per user. So fundamentally, in this new world, I do not have to consider Core Cals, I don't have to consider enterprise CALs. I don't have to consider bridge CALs. I don't have to consider a per device type of environment. This is strictly per user, and all the CALs and servers are all included in this offering. So this used to be the old model, and all this now moves over to the new model. So I can actually get all of these purchased as a suite, but I can still continue to purchase them as standalones. So if I want the EMS, Windows SA per user, or Office 365, I can definitely get it as a standalone. And I should point out that if I want the E4 equivalent, this is the equivalent of the E3, if I want the E4 equivalent, I can also get the Office 365 E4 add-on. So let's talk a little bit more about the Windows SA per user. In the Windows SA per user, as I indicated, this is a per user model. But what is exciting to announce is that if a user has a primary device, business primary device with Windows Pro on it, I can upgrade this device to the Windows Enterprise Edition. And as you know, the Windows Enterprise Edition gives me basically BitLocker, gives me direct access, and also gives me Windows to Go, amongst other things. But these are the three primary ones, and all of those are included in my Windows Enterprise. So why would I want this? Well, if I want to encrypt and secure all my laptops or all my mobile devices, I can actually do that. At Microsoft, all of our devices have a BitLocker enabled on it, and I cannot actually connect to CorpNet without BitLocker enabled and without me being up to date. Like, it will not let me connect. The next thing I'll point out is that we also now provide the capability on any Pro device under 10.1 inches, basically Windows Tablet, to upgrade all of my devices again to Windows Enterprise Edition. So that is fully supported. In the case of virtual desktops, I now have the capability of accessing my virtual desktop from any device, Windows, Android, iOS. And in the case that I have MDOP, I can also extend that across all my devices. And MDOP used to be another product that we'd add to software assurance on the traditional enterprise platform EA. So that's exciting news for the Windows SA per user. So I'm going to stop here for a second, and I'm just going to show this to you, Ruth. So this is a traditional model, whereby traditionally I can actually get my corporate-owned PC, I can use it in the office, and I can go to a second machine, let's say for home use. If I had third-party PCs or tablets, I was not allowed to use it or do the upgrade to the Windows 8.1 Enterprise, but I still had the right to use VDI and Windows to Go on a device. With the new Windows 8.1, this is the new per user one that we just talked about. The fundamental shift here is that I have Windows 7 or 8. All of these I can upgrade, and I can also upgrade it at home. But what's different now is that every single tablet under 10.1 inch is fully supported, as well as for home use. And similarly on the VDI, and also I can use these across every single one of my devices, fully supported. So now this gives me a very powerful per user model to truly enable my users to be productive, but more importantly, to also secure them with encryption and management. So, Ruth, any questions at this point before I continue in terms of how do you purchase it? And I was also going to walk you through some scenarios.
No, I mean, this sounds great. So what I'm hearing from you is that Microsoft's really moving from a per device licensing model to per user, and bundling up some pretty cool functionality into bundles that are easier to purchase.
Absolutely, absolutely. know, Ruth, with the new suite like Office 365, the Office Pro Plus, you get some incredible capabilities. For example, you now have click-to-run technology that allows me to do app V-like functionality whereby I can download my Office and still maintain my old versions of Office and running side by side. It does the updates continuously. With the Exchange, I get unlimited storage over unlimited time, and with OneDrive for Business, we just announced, if you hadn't heard, unlimited storage for OneDrive for Business, which is basically part of the SharePoint online offering. So you're absolutely correct. So a lot more capabilities, a lot more enhancements, and with this new SKU now, I'm truly enabled across the organization on a per user basis as opposed to a per devices basis.
Excellent. Okay, let's keep going.
So in terms of how I can actually purchase it, if I'm an existing customer and I want to take advantage of the new Enterprise Mobility Suite and I want to take advantage of the Windows SA, the fact that I've already purchased a platform EA, I can now actually purchase the Enterprise Cloud add-on. And so this allows me to basically couple these together. If I'm a net new customer, I can actually go straight to the whole suite and not have to purchase any of the traditional platform EA components. So again, this will depend if I'm a new user or if I'm an existing user. So if I also have, as I mentioned previously, if I want to go to the E4, I just get the Link Voice add-on for E3, and this actually turns this into an E4-like environment. So the recommendation is that if I'm within if I'm new to an EA and I'm in year 1 or year 2, then if I want to add it, again, as I mentioned, you would go the add-on route. We would give you a suite discount, factor that into your platform discount, and give this to you at a very cost-effective price. If, on the other hand, I'm a new user, then obviously I would get the new user. And this price point, again, the pricing just got announced, so we haven't released it yet. So we'll have to wait till we see when that pricing information actually comes in. So the next thing to also realize is that if I am an existing customer and I'm coming upon my renewal date, I can actually move from doing this type of environment to a from SA USL, which will also factor in the fact that I have invested into the platform, and this price point will also factor that in. So those are the 3 scenarios. So I can go add-on, I can go suite discount for new users, the full Enterprise Cloud Suite, or if I'm an existing customer that has the add-on, I can then, on my anniversary of my renewal, move straight to a from SA USL. So the last point that I was going to mention is that we've talked a lot about the Windows SA per user. I'll just flag there are going to be instances that some of my customers do not necessarily have a primary device, in which case we'll also offer a Windows VDA per user offer. So that is more for, people that work in manufacturing sites, retail, and so on and so forth. So let's have a look at the different scenarios. So my company, Contoso, my favorite company, currently has an EA. I'm in the 2nd year of their EA, and I want to move half of my 2,000 platform EA licenses to the Enterprise Cloud Suite. So the way that I would do that, I would just buy the Enterprise Cloud add-on, and I would just buy 1,000 of them and just attach it to my current agreement. So I still keep the underlying platform EA and all of the SA benefits that come with it. But now for 1,000 of those users, I now get the additional benefit of the Enterprise Mobility Suite. I get Office Pro Plus, I get OneDrive for Business, I get unlimited storage if I wanted to implement Exchange online, and I can leverage it that way. The next scenario is Fabricant. They are coming up for an EA renewal, and they want to move all of their 3,000 platform EA licenses to the Enterprise Cloud USL. So the way that I would do this is simply replace my platform EA and go straight to the Enterprise Cloud from SA USL because I'm coming in at it from the renewal perspective. So so that is this example right over here. The next thing that I was going to point out is that I've got Woodgrove Bank, and they are in the first year of their new EA, and they want to expand their operations, and they want to add 200 new employees, but they've decided to move all of these new employees straight to the Enterprise Cloud Suite as well. So the way that I would do this is that I had initially purchased the EA, but now I would just go out and I would buy 200 new Enterprise Cloud USLs at the anniversary dates. So again, that would be this scenario here. So again, because it's an add-on, I can just keep on incrementally adding it to my existing customers. The last scenario that I'm going to point out is Tray Research. And Tray Research has 5,000 platform EAs, but Compugen did a great job. They went in and they actually sold them on the Office 365 E3 add-on. Compugen has had additional discussions with them, and now the customer agrees that there's significant value in the Enterprise Cloud Suite, and they would like to move all of the users to the Enterprise Cloud Suite at anniversary. So to this extent, I would go in, and most likely, Ruth, I mean, you guys offer a very, very good, workshop that would allow you to go in and do an architectural workshop and determine what are they currently using, what they would like to move, and they would be in the best position to do that. So the good news is that I would just take my current Office E3 that I've done as an add-on, and I would just replace the E3 with the Enterprise Cloud Suite add-on. And I can do that again. I can do this piecemeal, or I can do it across my 5,000, which again, in working with Compugen, based on your workshop, this was the most cost-effective way to provide the best productivity, the best secure environment, and the best managed environment possible. So that, in a nutshell, again, as I mentioned, this will be available to customers to purchase effective December 1st. Our recommendation is go in and understand what the underlying platform is. Work with Compugen to understand what the opportunities and possibilities are. Understand your current environment, but again, Ruth, as you've seen, tremendous possibilities and opportunities to truly enable your environment to be the most productive in a secure, managed environment.
Well, this has been great. Thanks a lot, Eric. A lot of good information here.
Thanks again for your time, Ruth. And again, Compugen is one of our top go-to partners, so please do take advantage of their services. Thank you.